Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Dio, and this is Limbus Company. It's as of recording this, it's April Fool's, so they actually have a cutscene that came up when I went to the main screen here. It's all over. By the time you guys see this video, it's going to be way past April Fool's, so more than likely, if you're interested in it, you've probably already seen the videos on it. In any case, I want to try to get through more of the main story, but before we do that, I've been holding off on these last few things here. So I hit level 60. Every progress level after that gives you 3 yellow boxes, essentially, the shard selector boxes. So it's still beneficial to do your progress just to get more and more shards. So pretty helpful there. I also got Gregor as an announcer, which he's currently my announcer, but that's just so I can get the pass mission for him. And yeah, pretty much it. So let's go ahead and do this first. Alright, hay rank for Heathcliff, the telephone pole. There is the telephone pole for Don Quixote as well. I believe that's been added to circulation for the gacha polls. I'm not going to grind for that because it's a 1% drop for EGOs, but that's something to look forward to. And then the final one.
이 불 또한 예술의 황홀경이지.
Alright, 4th match flame, Ryoshu. It's a hay rank. We finally got a new EGO for her, Ryoshu. So I think all the female characters at least have 1 additional EGO now. And more importantly, we get the Charon announcer, and we of course get the banner thing. Alright, centers. Let's see, requires 4 Wrath and then 2 Pride, I think it is. Gets additional skill power against units with burn, and on kill you get attack power up, and on hit it inflicts more burn. So pretty standard stuff there. And then when you get the passive unlocked for it, every 4 skill used gains +4 final power and inflicts 4 burn with each of its attacks. That's actually pretty cool. Alright, so with all that said and done, I've been leveling up the EGOs gradually, but I'm not going to really go over them. Alright, telephone pole, 3 Wrath, 2 Lust, 3 Envy, I think it is. It's an AoE that hits 3 slots, builds up charge, and then on hit gives you more charge. And then after defeating enemy, gain charge by half. I believe Don Quixote's version of telephone pole actually can give other people charge, which could be really helpful. Alright, so with all that said and done, let's go ahead and hit the road. With everything sorted out, we finally resume our journey to the town of Cal. Before we can bask in our momentary peace, someone claiming to be an inquisitor leaves a hole in the back window of our bus. No, not the bus! Alright, so we can go ahead and switch to Charon. Alright, good stuff there. And just making sure this is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Okay, yep. Just making sure that the flame is equipped. More likely we're not going to get it to trigger because we don't have that much red on the team anymore. Alright. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, I'm using Otis because she does provide additional red. With the conflict sorted out, the bus finally departed. Looking out the windows evoked a strange feeling in the passengers.
저 인간들은 얼굴에 근심 하나 없어 보이네.
Check out those people. They look like they haven't a care in the world. This is way different from the roads we've been through.
아하. 그러고 보니 관리자 양반은 둥지 한복판을 지나오는 건 처음이겠어.
Ah, I guess this is our manager Bud's first time traveling in the middle of a nest.
둥지랑 뒷골목은 수준 차이가 심하죠. 또 둥지마다 저마다의 고유 문화와 역사가 다르고요.
There's a world of difference between the nest and the back streets. Besides, each nest has its own cultural heritage.
전원 집중.
Attention all.
이번에 갈 목적지는 K사의 칼프 마을이다. 그곳 어딘가에 로보톰이 집으로 연결되어 있는 통로가 있다는 정보다.
Our destination is the town of Cal, situated in Nest K. Investigation revealed that a passage connected to a lobotomy core branch exists somewhere in that village. As soon as the name Cal was mentioned, Sinclair lapsed into fear once again and started trembling, as if something were coming after him.
하지만 너희들이 전해준 정보대로 제3의 세력들이 이미 그 지부를 점령 중인 상황이다. 그래서 클리어 부서에 추가적인 정찰을 요청했지.
But as you have told me, a third party has occupied the area surrounding that branch facility. That's why I requested an additional recon operation from clearance.
비포팀의 사정관측 3과가 투입되었죠. 에피와 소드 씨도 함께 하셨을 겁니다.
Preliminary Observation Unit 3 from the before team has been dispatched. Mr. Effie and Miss Sade should be with them by now.
상황이 어떤지 파악이 되면 그쪽에서 먼저 보고를 줄 거다.
We'll receive a report from them once they get a good grasp of the situation. Shortly afterward, the bus entered a quiet woodland path leading to the village. Lush green trees rarely found in the back streets began to decorate the scene, providing a comforting sight, but that was soon disturbed by something odd. I could see an ominous billow of smoke rise in the distance.
왜? 저기 연기가
Why is smoke coming from?
싱클레어?
Sinclair?
카론 꺾어.
Charon, turn.
해피기동 덜컹덜컹.
Evasive maneuver. Rumble tumble. The bus made a sharp turn to the left shortly before a giant nail flew in and noisily embedded itself in the back window.
어떤 새끼야? 뒤질 뻔했잖아.
What? Who the hell was that? I almost kicked it.
이 정도의 가속도로 실험해보진 않았지만 창을 조금 더 튼튼히 덧댈 필요가 있겠군요.
Though I hadn't run a test with a projectile at such velocity, this does suggest that the windows need to be reinforced a little.
우리를 향해 정확히 조준하고 던진 거다. 아까 비포 팀들이 일컫던 엔사의 직원이겠군.
That was aimed directly at us. They must be the faction the before team warned us about, the employees of Encore.
베르, 메피가 다쳤어. 카론 슬퍼.
Verge. Mephi got hurt. Charon sad.
멈추지 않으면 더할 기세군.
Doesn't look like they'll stop anytime soon.
전원 한차.
Off the bus, all. As we got off the bus, a group stood in the way, clad from head to toe in rusty armor with faded coats of white.
정차. 이 길로는 지나가지 못한다.
Halt. You may not use this road.
아 이렇게 말로 하면 될 걸 유리창까지 뚫을 건 뭡니까? 나 참.
You should have said so in the first place. Because what about our windshield? Ah, bugger.
선전 보고 없이 공격해놓고는 무례하군. 소속이라도 말이야 예의지 않겠나?
You're rather rude for someone who attacked without warning. Isn't it at least common courtesy to state your affiliations?
우리는 이단 신문관. 불경한 일을 꿰뚫는 못이요. 죄악을 두드려 다스리는 망치다.
We are inquisitors. We are the nail that fixes the blasphemous and the hammer that strikes down the sinful.
엔사, 나겔 운트하모의 직원이라는 걸 어렵게도 말하네요.
So, Encore. That's one convoluted way to tell someone that you're an employee of Nagel und Hammer,
못과 망치라고도 불리죠.
also known as Nail and Hammer.
지금은 2단 신봉자를 정화하고 있으므로 이 앞을 지나갈 수 없다.
You shall not proceed as we are in the midst of cleansing heretical descendants.
2단? 이봐요. 우리는 단지 이곳을 서둘러 지나가고 싶을 뿐입니다. 뭐냐?
Actually, I believe it's descendants. Or I can't pronounce it, but it's not descendants. Heretics, hey now, we just want to pass through, not looking for any trouble. We're on the,
관광! 관광 버스라고요.
a tour, that's right, this is a tour bus. Labeled as tourists, all of a sudden, the sinners exchange looks in silence. To prevent another disastrous first impression, Gregor was doing what he could, even though his efforts fell flat for the most part, to gently appease the armored crowd. Accompanied by an attempt at the kind, harmless smile a tourist would wear.
그래. 저번 광산 때부터 느꼈던 건데 사실 이런 쪽 개그에 욕심 있는 거 아니야?
Greg, I've been thinking this since the job at the mine. But are you that into these kinds of bits?
그런 거 아니라고.
That's not exactly it. The quivering corners of his mouth roused pity in my heart.
그렇다면 그대들의 순수성을 증명함이 바르리라.
In that case, you shall prove yourselves to be untainted.
좋아. 방법을 알려주면 못할 것도 없지.
Fine. Tell us how so we can get on with it. The Inquisitor suddenly pointed in my direction.
저 불경한 여행자의 머리를 베어내라.
Behead that blasphemous traveler. But me?
그리고 우리 망치의 앞에 무릎 꿇고 봉헌해라.
And kneel before our hammer as you consecrate their head to us.
그렇다면 그대들은 때묻지 않는 자이며 여정의 불이익 또한 없을지니.
Such will prove that you are untainted ones, and your journey shall continue without hindrance.
물론 그 불결한 차량도 두고 가야 할 것이다.
You will, of course, have to part with the defiled vehicle as well.
보자보자니까 무슨 헛소리야. 야, 아무리 우리가 핫바지처럼 보인다고 해도 그런 걸 들어줄 것 같냐?
Love to spew on, don't you blokes? Oi, I don't know who you think you are, or think we are, but do we look daft enough to do as you say? Furious, Heathcliff was the first to quit playing as a harmless tourist. Heathcliff, you didn't have to.
갓잔치도 하는 것들이 어디서 나보고 무릎을 꿇으란 거야?
Proper trifling twits. Who are you telling me to kneel? The Inquisitor, as was declared to us, nodded in response.
알겠다. 그렇다면 그대들은 이단이다.
Understood. Then I declare all you to be heretics. With that, the group of Inquisitors moved into position at once and ready to attack. I mean, losing your healer of the group is probably not a wise decision anyway.
늦으면 메피랑 먼저 갈 거야.
Leaving with Mephi if you're late. So yeah, I actually have never heard of Charon's announcer stuff. Gregor's aren't too bad. Favorites, huh? Well, yeah, there's a chance I can fail it. Dominating, that's fine. Dominating, and no other ones. All right.
거치적거리지만 마.
Good. Good. Barely. Alright, good. And they're vulnerable to blunt, so this is good.
이단이 휘청거리는군.
Alright, I'm only gonna get 2 hits here. That's enough to stagger.
꽤 잘 갈렸고.
적들이
At least I don't have to deal with that self-healing nonsense.
아니야.
Actually, what do they have? When an ally is defeated, they gain attack power up. Got it. One down.
대단히 휘청거리는군.
끝이.
다음은 어디요?
Okay, that was interesting. I was expecting the evasion clash to happen sooner. Alright, 6 on 7 actions right now. And these icons are a little clearer now.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
Alright, looks like the evasion did not work. That's okay.
대단히 휘청거리는군.
끝이. 검을 덜 갈았었나?
달려라 루신한테. 정의는 승리한다.
적들이
Alright, we're
흔들리는데
good to go.
기회 아니야?
물러서지 않겠습니다.
흙으로. 흙으로. 가장 순수한 세상으로.
Alright. The advance party contacted us at last. The mysterious voice coming from the transmitter was a telltale sign that something was up, throwing Sinclair into another fit of terror.
파우스트가 나설 만한 곳이어야 할 겁니다.
Getting back on the bus, Vergilius greets us by casually lifting a hand.
이번엔 상대하기 조금 까다롭진 않았나?
Weren't they a little trickier to deal with than your usual foes?
누누이 말하는 거지만 당신이 도와주면 훨씬 빠르게 끝낼 수 있어.
I keep saying we could be done with them a lot faster if you lent a hand.
나도 너누이 말하는 거지만 내가 도와주는 건 아무 의미가 없어.
And as I always answer, there won't be any point to this if I can help you. Hey, at least he's smiling again.
저자들 우리더러 2단 신봉자라고 했어요. 대체 뭘 보고 그러는 거죠?
Those people, they labeled us as heretics. Just what is their judgment based on? I think they were targeting me.
못과 망치, 경험이야말로 가장 중요한 가치란 말하는 날개.
The jail and hammer, the wing that values of experience above all else. Marisol muttered vaguely. Experience?
인간은 자신의 가치에 맞는 경험과 행동을 할 수 있도록 정해져 있다. 그들은 경험에 대해 그렇게 말합니다.
Humans are made to have experiences and actions appropriate for their worth. That is what they say of it.
그것들 우리에게 관리자님의 머리를 내놓으라 했지.
They told us to offer up the severed head of our manager.
그렇다는 건
That means
그들이 또 온 거예요. 잊지 않았던 거죠. 그렇게 찾아와서
they're back. They didn't forget coming back like that too. Sinclair was almost having a fit at this point. Rhoda looked at him with pitying eyes, but there was little she could do about it.
베르베르, 소리 나는 상자가 시끄러워.
Verg, the sound box is being noisy.
선발대에서 연락이 온 모양이군.
Looks like the advance team has words for us. This is... Sade is...
이리 줘.
Give me that.
에피, 여기는 버스다. 거기 상황은 어떤 것 같아?
Effie, this is the bus. How are things over there? You shall bear your every sin and be purified.
에피?
Effie?
방금 에피 씨 목소리가 맞았나요?
Was that Effie's voice or something else?
아니, 그보다 사람 목소리이긴 했나요?
No, actually, was that even a human voice at all?
바람.
Whistles?
싱클레어, 무슨 소리를 하는 거야?
Sinclair, what are you talking about?
바람 소리가 들렸잖아요. 마지막에.
You heard the whistles right at the end, faintly.
그런 게 들렸었나?
Was there now?
그 자식이 온 거예요. 마침내 우리 마을까지 전부 죽이려고.
It's her. That wretch is there. After all this time to destroy the rest of our town. Calm down, Sinclair. What do you mean by whistles, and who is this wretched woman?
저를 기다리고 있는 거예요. 그건 저를 부르는 메시지였어요.
She's waiting for me. That was a message calling for me. Resentful tears were streaming from Sinclair's face as he rambled.
잠깐만요. 저 앞에 아까랑 같은 자들이.
Hang on. There are people like the ones we met on the road up ahead.
돌아가요.
You should go back. What?
저희 그냥 돌아가면 안 돼요? 가기 싫어요. 돌아가요, 제발. 이제라도 운전대를 돌려서.
Can't we just head back? I don't want to go. Let's just turn around. Just tip the steering wheel and...
꼬맹이, 대체 왜 그러는 거야? 앞에 뭐가 있는데?
Kiddo, what's wrong? What are you worried you'll walk into?
가면 안 돼. 전부 죽을 거야. 돌아가요.
We shouldn't go. We'll all die. We need to go back.
에밀 싱클레어, 쓸데없는 소리를.
Emil Sinclair, don't be absurd. Otis was calmly flicking her wrist.
잠깐 기절할 정도로 복부에 충격을 가했을 뿐이다.
I delivered a light blow to the stomach to knock him unconscious for a short while. Nothing more.
이번엔 박자가 맞았군. 당신 내가 나설 뻔했어.
We're in agreement for once, it seems. I was this close to stepping in.
겁쟁이들은 전장이 필요 없으니까. 이대로 버스밖에 버리고 가면 안 되는 건가?
I don't need cowards on my battlefield. Can't I throw them out of the bus? That might be a bit too far.
관리자님께서 그렇게 말씀하신다면.
If you say so, manager. Otis looked down at Sinclair with a displeased face. Even though he was the timid sort, he's never opposed something so strongly until now. This unprecedented behavior of his bothered me, but I couldn't bring myself to ask him why, as he didn't seem to be in any state to tell me. Soon enough, Sinclair came back to his senses. He stared out the window with vacant eyes. The others are all out fighting.
죄송해요. 저도 갈게요.
I'm sorry. I'll go join them.
짐덩이가 될 순 없으니까.
I can't keep dragging others down. Alright, let's go fight some more Encore.
늦으면 내피랑 먼저 갈 거야.
Make sure we're okay. Yep, we're okay.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어!
끝이.
적들이 흔들흔들. 기회 아니야?
Alright,
물러서지 않겠습니다.
seem to be good to go here.
죽음으로 참여하라. 지금이 기회인 것 같소.
꽤 잘 갈렸고.
Alright.
기다리는 거 못해.
They have more actions than me this time.
기다려줄게.
물러서지 않겠습니다.
밖에서 모든 걸 걷어들일 순 없었어.
Yeah, unfortunately, resistance slashing.
지금이 기회인 것 같소.
But it's better to do some damage than to fail a clash.
적들이 흔들흔들.
Alright.
기회 아니야?
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
대항력이 충분합니다. 침착한 결과입니다. 끝. 검을 덜 갈았었나?
다음은 어디요? 이게 바로 소위 말하는 엘리트? 나
Okay. Inquisitors 3. Groups of Inquisitors continue to assail us. Who are they? Why are they so fixated on taking my head?
기차와 같이 달려나가겠소.
Alright, no
늦으면
cutscene.
내피랑 먼저 갈 거야.
거치적거리지만 마.
알겠어. 다음은 어디요?
적들이 흔들흔들. 기회 아니야?
All shimmy shaky.
정화.
Not so much for that clash.
꽤 잘 갈렸고. 대항력이 충분합니다. 침착한 결과입니다.
This next round's gonna hurt pretty bad though. So we killed very fast, so we're not gonna have a lot of speed dice.
하루
Yeah, this is gonna hurt a lot.
100초만 기다려줄게.
And that guy's whatever that is, it's neutral. Even he gets my highest cards. Okay, everything else seems to be okay, except for the fact that there's gonna be a bunch of open dice.
정화.
So unless I can get some staggers in. Not quite. Okay, good.
모든 걸 걷어들일 순 없었어.
One HP left. Good for him.
지금이 기회인 것 같아. 다음은 어디요?
적들이 흔들흔들. 기회 아니야?
Nope, nothing there. We can do this.
거치적거리지만 마.
For some reason they're moving slow. That's okay. Battle's gonna probably finish off in this round.
죽음으로 참여하라.
or rather next round.
적들이 흔들흔들. 기회 아니야?
Alright, I can't auto battle.
정화. 미간이 휘청거리는군. 밝으로. 이걸로 나는 더 높은 자리로.
Alright, Silent Night. We reach the town of Kale. A familiar song welcomes us, followed by the morbid sight of trees festooned with horrifying things. Alright, we'll do this one and then probably call it a video.
이단에게 철의 단죄를.
The smoke was faintly visible through the bus windows, covered the whole town.
난장판이네요, 정말.
Ugh, what a mess this is, huh?
그런데 어디서 익숙한 노랫소리가 들리는 것 같지 않아요?
By the way, don't you hear a familiar song from somewhere?
나 이 노래 알아. 그 뭐더라. 눈이 더럽게 많이 오던 날만 되면.
Oh, yeah, I know this one. Used to hear this tune an awful lot on snowy days.
전쟁 때 병사들 사기 올린다고 이거 틀 때마다 진짜 힘이 쭉 빠졌는데.
They played it a bunch during wartime to raise our spirits. Did the exact opposite for me. The song evoked various emotions in the group. For me, I'm not sure. It's definitely familiar, but it doesn't bring up any clear images in my head. However, I could still feel a faint splash of feeling from deep in my heart. Maybe I knew this song before I lost my memory. This mist of emotion roused inside me, though. It doesn't feel precious or warm. An ache, an inexplicable sting is what I felt.
맞아요. 그날도
Right. That day.
이렇게 눈이 쌓여 있고 노래가 들리던.
It was snowy like this, and that song was playing. The trees before us were decorated with grim ornaments. And apparently limbs. All sorts of internal organs and mechanical parts were hung from the branches as if someone put people's innards on full display.
이건 너무 지독한 거 아니야?
Ugh. Isn't this going too far?
클래식. 아니, kitsch하군.
A classic, but more kitschy than anything.
근방에 생존자는 없다.
There are no survivors nearby. Then everything finally fell into place. It's just like...
마이크 테스트, 마이크 테스트.
Mic test. That piercing sound caused the group to cover their ears.
모두 즐거운 성탄절 보내고 있나?
Enjoying your Noel, everyone.
고요하지는 않지만 거룩한 밤이지.
The night isn't really silent, but it sure is holy. Isn't Christmas still a fair way off?
네, 한참이죠.
You're right, it's not anytime soon.
내 이름은 크로머. 순수를 사랑하는 파괴주의자, 그리고 망치를 치는 자.
Hey, we have the person that grips the hammer. My name is Cromer. I'm a humanitarian who loves purity. I'm the one who grips the hammer.
이곳을 어떻게 넘어왔는지는 모르겠지만 너희는 지금 사유지를 침범 중이지.
I don't know how you managed to get here, but you're trespassing on private property.
왜냐하면 여긴 보다시피 목과 망치가 심판 중인 신성한 구역이거든. 내 장식이 마음에 들려나 모르겠네.
As you can see, this hallowed ground is undergoing our nailing judgment. I hope you like the decorations I set up.
뭐 길은 잘못 들어왔다 치고 지금이라도 얌전히 돌아가주면 너그럽게 벌금만 매겨주지.
Well, let's just say that you got lost. Turn back now, and a fine will be all you have to pay.
왜냐하면 오늘은 성탄절이니까.
I'm feeling generous. Today is the nativity, after all.
아, 그 전에 잠깐. 거기 귀도 있어?
Oh, before that, is Guido there?
이곳에 있나니?
Oh, hello. Here I stand.
혹시 말이야. 거기에 이단이 있나?
Good. Just in case, do you see any heretics over there? The massive man named Guido, who responded to her, turns to us. He intently stares into each of us until his eyes fall upon me. He gazes at me for a very long time. Although he was wearing a mask, those eyes of his, they froze us completely still, as if his glare nailed us to the ground.
순수하지 아니한 자와 그들의 추종꾼이 함께합니다.
I see an impure one and their followers,
그리고 말씀하신 그 아이도.
and with them the child you spoke of.
뭐야, 내 싱클레어가 돌아왔어?
Really? My Sinclair is back?
날 보러 와, 싱클레어. 난 네가 알던 그곳에 있어.
Come see me, Sinclair. I'll be waiting at that familiar spot. Cromer. I can hear Sinclair grinding and gnashing his teeth. He made a dreadful noise. I couldn't be sure if it was from hatred or fear.
나머지는 처리의 기도 아니면 내가 나서야 하나? 그래도 되는데.
Take out the rest, Guido. Or should I myself? I wouldn't mind.
지는 자께서는 불순한 것을 두드리는 일에 집중하소서.
I urge you to focus on hammering the impure one who grips.
좋아, 좋아. 우리 정화 작업을 계속하자고.
Good, good. Let's keep up the purification.
그럼 모두 메리 크리스마스.
Now then, everyone, Merry Christmas. A number of Inquisitors gathered around Guido. He stands firm behind them. He is not making any movement, but his presence alone is threatening enough. An intense aura of hostility was radiating straight from him. Well, we'll see if our encore matches theirs. Alright.
내피랑 먼저 갈 거야.
3 waves. Got it. That's not a good clash. That's slightly better.
정화.
Okay, the evasion was successful. That's good. Unfortunately, one of my dominating still failed.
적들이 흔들흔들. 기회 아니야?
거치적거리지만 마. 꽤 잘 갈렸고.
And just like our encore characters, these guys do a bunch of nailing and bleeding.
죽음으로 참여하라. 지금이 기회인 것 같소. 자, 강문 어디요?
대성공이야. 칼은 신나.
A huge success. Karen's excited. Permission to sing.
적들이 흔들흔들. 기회 아니야?
거치적거리지만 마. 대하는 게 충분합니다. 침착한 결과입니다.
Alright. Wave 2.
늦으면 내피랑 먼저 갈 거야.
Okay, you're setting up a counter. Can I skip your counter? Yes, but it won't. I don't think it makes a difference. Because if you win the clash, it'll switch to defense after that. So we kind of have to just stick with what we got. So if I hit this, I can get enough charge to do this. So here's hoping. Okay. I was checking to see if I can do an EGO, but the answer is no. So good luck.
물러서지 않겠습니다. 끝이.
I did it in the wrong order, so I ended up taking damage from that and doing a lot less damage.
적들이 흔들흔들 기회
So
아니야.
now I have enough charge. Alright, not a big deal. We'll just keep building up charge. Yeah, we're okay.
물러서지 않겠습니다.
Okay, you're dead.
죽음으로 참여하라. 죽음으로 참여하라.
대안으로 충분합니다. 검을 덜 갈았었나? 꽤 잘 갈렸고.
Okay.
기다리는 거 못해. 100초만 기다려줄게.
Gets damage up when defeating enemies. At the start of the turn, all allies get sanity, and if this unit's defeated, all allies lose sanity. Okay. And then this unit is Fanatic, so it deals plus 50% damage. Oh, sorry, if this excuse me. If the unit has Fanatic, he does extra damage. Got it. Okay. So what's the damage type? That is slashing. Assuming yours is also slashing.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
모든 걸 걷어들일 순 없었어.
Not bad for an endured hit.
이 불 또한 예술의 황홀경이지.
Alright, not too shabby.
지금이 기회인 것 같소.
대안으로 충분합니다.
Alright, so far so good. It's got an extra die.
아니야.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
Yeah, we're way over leveled, so this makes it a bit easier for us.
인간이 휘청거리는군.
231 damage, and he fled. Yeah, rip space is just ridiculous if you have enough charge.
힘든 상대였어요. 저자가 완전히 정신을 차리기 전에 우선 도망치죠.
That was a tough opponent. We should move before they come back to their senses.
수치스러운 소리를 잘도 짓거리는. 승기를 잡은 군인은 적을 두고 꽁문을 빼지 않는다.
What a shameful thing to say. A soldier does not retreat before the enemy when victory is in sight.
지금 군인 정신이 중요할 때예요?
Can't you save the military drill for a better time? Ishmael's right. That's not someone we can beat easily.
철수하겠습니다.
We'll fall back. Otis reluctantly backed down. Sinclair, do you know what that Cromer meant by that familiar spot?
그건...
That's, well... Sinclair shook. He was seemingly overwhelmed with dread. But I could also see a grinding anger in him that surpassed his fear. Looking at him, a thought blossomed in my mind. You needed to talk, Sinclair. Tell us what you know, and you'll prevent half the deaths we might suffer.
작전의 성공률도 올라간다. 효과적인 정보를 기대하지.
It'll also raise the likelihood of our success. I'm looking forward to hearing something useful. I hope I'm doing the right thing as the manager. Sinclair shook his head upon hearing my words, breathed in, and finally opened his mouth after some struggle.
우리 집이요. 크로머는 분명 그곳에 있을 거예요.
My house. That's where Cromer must be.
너 그 자식이랑 아는 사이였냐?
So, you know that bird?
아, 젠장. 하도 귀가 찢어질 듯우서대서 머리가 다 지끈거리네.
Bollocks. My head is still pounding thanks to her shrill laugh.
학교에서 만났어요.
I met her at school.
저런, 혹시 친구였어? 친구라면 잘 타일렀으면 좋겠는데.
Oh boy, she's a friend of yours? Whatever's going on, sure hope you can talk it out.
친구 아니에요. 크로머는 우리 가족들을 죽였어요.
She's not my friend. Cromer killed my family.
미안해.
My bad. A prosthetic head hanging from a tree slowly turned to face us. Lights and sparks occasionally flickered within. Sinclair? Why did you return?
싱클레어? 이웃들이야?
Sinclair, are those your neighbors? Rhoda asked while looking at the dismembered prostheses.
그런 것 같아요. 아니었으면 좋겠지만요.
It looks like they were. I really hope that isn't the case, though. Sinclair replied, watching with a grim look on his face as their bare wires sparked and short-circuited. The robotic head soon stopped moving, only emitting discordant things. Then a song begins to fill the air. All the heads hung from the tree are singing the same song. A carol leaking through the vocal units of so many lifeless heads lands on the flames below.
이들에게 이단이란 건 역시 의체 보유자를 말하는 것이군요.
It's clearer than ever now. Prosthetic body parts are heresy to them.
도시의 의체 보유자들이 보이게 된 지 꽤 오랜 시간이 흘렀지만
Though it has been quite a while since prostheses were first introduced to the city,
여전히 그들의 모습을 보고 이질감을 느끼는 사람들은 많죠.
many people still find them foreign and alienating.
저희 마을은요.
Our town.
저희 마을은 K사 의체 산업의 성지라고 불릴 정도로 주민 대부분이 하이엔드 의체 부품 제작에 종사하고 있었어요.
Our town was called the holy site of Neskei's prosthetic industry. Most of the residents worked in manufacturing high-end prostheses components.
크로마는 오래전부터 계속 우리 마을을 주시했던 거예요.
Cromer has been keeping an eye on our town for a long time.
네 가족도
So, was your family...
네. 저희 아버지는 신생의체 회사의 대표였어요.
Yeah, my father was the owner of a fledgling prosthetics company too.
그래서
Is that why?
아니,
No.
제가 보기엔 이자들에게 그런 거창한 사상 따위는 없어요.
The way I see it, attributing it to any high-flown cause of any kind is giving them too much credit.
그냥 광기와 폭력에 매료된 미치광이죠.
They're just lunatics, consumed by madness and violence. Ishmael asserted to him. After a while of staring at the Christmas trees decorated with his neighbors, Sinclair turned to me.
관리자님, 예전부터 여쭤보고 싶었던 게 있어요.
Manager, I have a question if it's alright with you. What is it?
기분이 어떠세요?
Well, how does it feel? Feel?
네.
Yeah.
머리 대신 의체를 달고 있는 기분이 어떠냐고요?
I mean, how does it feel to have a prosthetic replacement for your head? I was a little taken aback since I've never had anyone ask that kind of question before. The issue is that there's no way to know how I might have felt before I got a clock for a head. That's...
따지려 드는 게 아니라요.
Oh, it's, I'm not trying to argue with you or anything.
무례한 질문이었겠죠? 죄송해요.
That was probably rude of me, I apologize. No need, it's alright. The other sinners were a billion times ruder to me with their daily interactions anyway. I'm afraid I can't answer that. I don't remember a single thing about my life before this clock.
그러시군요.
I see.
항상 궁금했어요. 머리 대신 다른 것이 자리를 잡았을 때의 기분은 어떤지.
I've always wondered what it feels like when there's something sitting up where your head should be.
가족들은 모자를 쓰고 시계를 걸치는 것과 다를 바 없다고 말했지만
My family said it's no different from wearing a hat or a watch.
저는 아무리 떠올리려고 해도 잘 상상이 되지 않더라고요.
But I just couldn't picture it well, no matter how I approached it.
그 덕에 저만 유일하게 살아남았지만요.
And now I'm the only survivor thanks to that. I'm sure the procedures seem terrifying at such a young age. You don't have to feel guilty about that.
아니에요.
That's not it.
그런 게 아니에요.
It's nothing like that.
전 단테 씨 생각처럼 그렇게 무고한 사람이 아니에요.
I'm afraid I'm not as innocent as you might think, Dante. I mean, you play some mean maracas. Sinclair quietly hung his head. I racked my brains for an appropriate reply, but no suitable words of comfort came up. Only the unpleasant sounds of sparks and flames filled the street. Alright.
가장 순수한 세상으로.
Okie dokie. Next one's Holy Night. Sinclair's hometown of Cal was a village of artisan prostheticists. Faust detailed the growing tendency of the public to avoid prosthesis users as the distortion phenomenon becomes more frequent. Alright, so yeah, with that, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I guess before I go, we do have this thing here, which we can... We've maxed it out, and we get access to this. Gradually rebuilding our lunacy for the next banner. We did use Ryoshi's 4th match flame, so we get to do this and get another one of these. So yeah, as mentioned, you get the yellow boxes that give you ego shards of your choice. At this point, we actually have a lot of them. Yeah, we have 179. So if we are super lucky, we could possibly get 400 shards for somebody. Which might not be a bad idea. Yeah, so telepole is available for Don Quixote as well. And it's actually really useful because it actually gives charge to random allies that have access to charge. I think the only catch though is actually it's not the costs aren't too bad. But we'll worry about that later. Anyway, I am the Depressed Dior. This was Limbus Company. I'll see you guys later.